So the important question we have to ask ourselves and find out when this is true and when it's not, am I the master of my behavior or am I the victim of my egoism? Because it's one or the other. Of course, most people think their egoism isn't that bad and pay way more attention to the egoism in others. But really, we should be forgetting the egoism in the other people and turn our attention to crushing it in ourselves. It's almost like saying, you know, if others neglect their house, keeping their house clean, that doesn't give us the right to neglect cleaning our house. So people go through life pointing out that, oh, that person needs to clean their house. This is what Christ talked about when be careful of, you know, you're looking for the speck in the eye of your brother, but you've got a big splinter in your eye. You know, look at yourself first. People go through life saying things like this: I don't really care for that person. I can't stand being around that person. Maybe you said this sometimes about certain people in your life. But if really, and I think this is one of the most important things I'm going to say in the seminar, you don't have to meditate on it, but if you really study it, what is it that we don't like in any other person, that we have problems we react to in any other person? It's only egoism. It's the same egoism in everybody. Maybe it expresses itself different, but it's the same thing. And then you turn around and look in and you go, oh my God, it's in me too. So we have one enemy, and it's in other people, but it's in ourselves. But we can't change it in the other people. We can only change it in ourselves, and that will encourage others around us to change theirs. Now, in an undeveloped person, the egoism is very crude and inconsiderate and rough. It's only concerned for what it wants and likes. It's blind to what others need. But with a little development, it reaches a second stage, where their egoism is basically pleasant and okay, if and only if it gets what it wants. If it doesn't get what it wants, it reverts to being rough and crude again. Then the third stage, of course, it becomes more refined. It becomes more concerned about other people and their needs and less concerned about your own needs. And that's what really crushes egoism in us. Now, some of you studied Hinduism. You might have noticed the Hindu god Shiva, but in the Nataraj position. And he's standing like this, and he's got his leg up in the air and he's dancing. But if you notice, he's standing on something. He's standing on a dwarf. And the dwarf represents egoism. And his posture is saying, why fear, I'm here, or no, why fear, I'm here. And he's the lord of the cosmic dance. And the dwarf represents the demon of egotism, they call it. And so certainly our egotism is our biggest, the demon of egoism in us is the biggest demon we'll ever face.
I have one question, Daniel.
Sorry?
How can, like, that's the tricky thing for me, like, to do something good for other people, you know, to just do it pure out of love.